Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today, we're just checking out the tank and see what we could do to get it back up to tip-top shape. And here we go. So I have a goal with this tank. I just want to get it back to having it look the best it can, given the layout and everything. And first, these are the little things. I mean, the tank is pretty healthy overall, and we have just plants that are very growing. They're all growing. It's just their leaves and things are like of that sort are just not plump and lush. And so what I'd like to do is do like a series of water changes, maybe like once a day, and for the entire week, and that should get the plant growth to be nicer. So maybe 20% water changes every day this week, and we'll see the results. So like right now, this is what it looks like, and we're gonna change water for 7 days straight. And the water changes tend to yield better plant growth. I know like some people may argue that, hey, you're taking out nutrients and things like that, and it's not good because then the plants would be starved of nutrients. But for some reason, I just see that when I water change, it gives better plant growth. Maybe because you're taking out nutrients, so maybe I'm guessing less algae growth, so maybe the plant has less competition in terms of fighting for the nutrients against algae. And also I noticed that after a few days of changing water, the plants tend to pearl a lot more, so it's actually respirating, and possibly like it becomes like there's like a lot of bubbles that come out from the leaves, and maybe it cleans the leaves of like anything that grows on the leaves. So as it bubbles, it's kind of like, I guess, like sort of like a hydrogen peroxide kind of effect going on. It cleans all the leaves, and then I guess the leaves grow faster. That's just my observation. And the leaves can grow bigger when it's when the tank water is cleaner. And when the bubbles come out of the leaves, it also lifts all the junk that grows on the leaves, or that would grow on the leaves. So also I'd like to do what I'd like to do is to get it back to tip-top shape. I'd like to scrape off this calcium buildup here, because I use tap water in my tanks, and straight from the tap. And this is just, sometimes it's tough to get rid of this calcium right here. So having like a nice surface makes your tank look nice. So yeah, like these corners and things like that. You can see there's calcium here. What do you guys do to get rid of calcium like this? I usually like to take a blade and just scrape it like a metal blade. And I find that the blade is good because it takes off all of this, but you just have to scrape it, apply pressure and scrape it off. The blade I don't really see that it leaves any scratches. Scotch-Brite works really well, but Scotch-Brite actually scratches glass. So I had a tank before that I used Scotch-Brite on, and it's really effective. It's like sandpaper, and it could take off the calcium. But I don't use it on a nicer tank like this. I mean, over time you'll see that there's like, if you use Scotch-Brite, you can see all these micro scratch marks. I don't like the result of Scotch-Brite. I would not use it on a nice tank like this. And then also this stuff gets to me too, like these water spots on here. And I guess what I like to do is I like to take a damp cloth, not really like maybe a cloth, and it's only damp in this little area, and then the rest of it would be dry. I'll show you guys how I do it. All right, let's get to cleaning. All right, now that the top of the glass is clean, the aquarium looks a whole lot better. See? So I had to move the hang on the back filter here. There was a lot of calcium buildup here. With this handy guy, we got it off really quickly. And then now, I just like glass better. Glass aquariums, they're just so much easier to clean because you can use a blade. Now, for like the other parts of the aquarium, I like to use one of these scrapers. It has a blade at the end, and it's got a handle. And then you can even extend the length of it. So this one's, you can extend because it has threading in the back, you can extend it to be longer for deeper aquariums. And you can buy one of these like on Amazon. And yeah, they're good, and it should come with some blades. It comes with extra blades when you buy it. And then you can just scrape it here. You just got to watch out for any critters like snails or even fish. If you have too many fish like I do in here, I have too many guppies. Yeah, you really have to be careful before. Watch where you're placing the blade. Make sure there's no fish there, or else, yeah, it could be tragic. We're just gonna clean the tank a little bit. And then the corners, sometimes the corners like this guy, since it has like a little space, like just a little notch at the corner right there, it can't really clean the corner. So we'd have to, I guess that's when I break out the acrylic safe scrubber pad to clean the corners. And well, it's just a little bit in the corner, so I could live with that. It cleans the corner pretty effectively. So it wasn't too dirty to begin with, and yeah, looks like it's pretty much clean. And then I'd like to, when I have, today I'm not trimming because like I trimmed some already this week. Well, late last week, I trimmed some of the plants already. And then we have some remnants of some of the plants that we trimmed. Well, most planted tanks, you'd always have some plants floating around. And some may actually grow while floating. But I mean, if you have space, I guess you can plant it down, and it could spawn new life. But in this case, my tank's already overloaded, so I like to take it out, or else some of it, especially the leaves, it'll decay and release nutrients into the water, which promotes algae growth and bacteria growth, and that's something I don't want right now. Okay. About it. See if we caught any fish. It's probable that there are fish in there. Yeah, we caught a few guppies in there. Just gotta fish them out. Get out. There we go. Nope. And then for the corners, I don't have any choice, so I have this acrylic safe pad. This doesn't scratch acrylic, it's not supposed to at least, and it certainly shouldn't scratch glass. So I use this at the corners. Now I've seen people like to use a credit card, like they'll snip the credit card, like the corners of the credit card to make like a 90-degree and use that as a scraper for the corners. I think that's actually pretty effective. I would do that. I used to do that, but sometimes the corners, it just wears out when you use it too much, and it doesn't scrape as well anymore. So actually my go-to right now is still the acrylic pad, the acrylic safe pad to clean the corners. Okay. All right, that should do it. It's pretty clean. And then now we have to clean the cover for the filter. Even the slightest water spot on this would make your tank not look good. So yeah, let's just do what we can. We take the acrylic safe pad to do some cleaning. And then sometimes like there'd be a little bit of calcium buildup here. Yeah, I don't really want to use the blade on here. So in this case it's so little, but like I have no choice but to use the acrylic pad. Luckily the calcium is only on one corner. Okay, there's still some little black stuff there. I'll just have to scrape it with the acrylic safe pad. So I'm applying a lot of pressure here to get it off. Probably polishing the plastic too at the same time. Okay, so pretty much it's off. You can see no more. There's no more marks on here. Looks good again. Now we just have to dry this and then put it back on the filter. All right, there we go. Let's put it back on. Get a piece of cloth and let's dry the top. Man, that looks good. And then one day I'll have to clean the filter. But not today. Like the filter, I don't actually clean the pads that much. It has so much beneficial bacteria that grows in there. I guess as long as it's not flowing over the edges here, like meaning if the water is still going through the sponge, I don't clean it yet. As long as you don't disturb the sponge, and like as long as the detritus doesn't like come back in the water, in my opinion, it still keeps the water pretty clean. So I don't clean these pads until pretty much I think that it's completely saturated. Then I clean it with some aquarium water. But right now it looks okay. The water is still going through the filter media, and it's in good shape. And now let's do a water change. So this is a 20-gallon tank, and then this is a 5-gallon bucket, a Homer bucket from Home Depot. So we know that this is it's approximately a 20 to 25% water change. There we go. Let's do this. Now I like to multitask, so while it's siphoning, take that same cloth, and then I dab it a little bit with water, like that much, and then I'll clean the windows. I mean, clean the glass. Let's see. It kind of makes that area damp, and it dries it as you wipe it. There. No more water spots. I guess I do it this way, and I don't use chemical because I used to use Windex, and then I remember one time I had a small 10-gallon tank, and while I was cleaning I sprayed Windex, and some of the mist, you know, when you spray it came up, and then somehow it landed on the surface of the water, and it caused some fish to die like almost immediately. It was crazy. And so yeah, right now I'm a little scared to use Windex on the fish tank, because yeah, it could definitely contaminate your tank if some of that mist gets in. And so now I just use water and cloth, and it works pretty well. And now we're gonna check the bucket to see if we sucked in any, somehow some of the small guppies, the baby guppies somehow made its way down to here. It looks like it's okay. Remember I found a few before when I was cleaning the filter. So when I clean the filter pads in here, and it makes it all like gloomy, and it was tough to see. And as I was pouring, I saw a few guppies. So on the I like to pour this water in the plants, so I found them on the soil, and luckily I saw them, and I was able to save them. Now, fish tank water is great for plants. So what I like to do is I like to pick a lucky tree such as this one. I like the the mandarins that it produces. So I'd like this tree to do better, and so the water goes to this guy, this tree, and hopefully it yields better mandarins in the coming season. All right, that's that. Now what I like to do is I like to put these plastic clips back for the glass top. And then I like to whip out my water source, which I have under my wife's tank. Did a little split RO, and then I like to fill up the tank. I'll start out slow, and then since this tank is big enough, I can go full blast. And it doesn't really stir up the soil, so this is not full blast because I'm holding the camera right now. So let me turn it to full blast. And that's it. We'll let it run, and then check the tank in a little bit. So this is the result of, actually this is day 1 of the, well, day 2 of the water change, but like we got all those water spots off the glass, so it looks a lot better. And then the top looks clean, it's calcium free, looks good. And then to top it off, yeah, the glass, I put the glass back on. I had to clean the glass too. And then like the top of the glass, like at least this area, like the top of it has to look clean too. Here, so I like to wipe it. And so yeah, I'm going to change 25%, 20 to 25% a day every day this week, and then show you the result. Currently, I'd like to have the plants pearl a lot more, and then have the rotala leaves actually grow out to be bigger. I just know in the past that when I change water more often, that's what happened. Oh, and then last time I mentioned that the lower iron glass has like a bluish kind of tint to it. As you can see through the long section of the glass, it's bluish. So low iron tends to be a clearer glass. Like when you look through the glass, it looks clearer than normal tempered glass. And then this lid is tempered glass, and you can see the difference. Like, see, this is a greenish tint. So that's how you can tell that, you can see side by side. You can see this one's like really clear, this one's like a greenish tint. So this is regular tempered glass, which is not as clear, like when you look through it, than low iron glass. There you go, see? Green, blue. Or more like clear, but bluish, and then greenish. Anyway, thanks for joining in, guys. Give you guys an update later this week to show you the result of a 7. Well, maybe if there's any if there's any significant difference in the tank before 7 days, I'll shoot a video and show you guys. Otherwise, show you the result of 20 to 25% water change every day for a week. Well, see you next time.